All right. Let's make sure this is working. Yeah, it is. All right. So welcome to a new live stream slash interview. Today we're going to be doing an interview with somebody that I didn't think we were ever going to do an interview with. We didn't start off on the best note. It was a complicated thing. I mean, some would say we had YouTube beef for a bit. A couple months maybe here and there. There was a lot of twists and turns. And then it turned out that there's this I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask the guy himself because I feel like he has a good amount to say. I mean, it's good to get info and statements from the actual person, right? Rather than speculating gossip most of the time. But when it comes to him, just from what the public saw and what was going on the surface level, it would just one downhill spiral after another. And it started out with this whole copyright situation, I believe. And that's when everything started to really go downhill. If you remember, there was a small channel who now has 1K after finally, God knows how long. But he was a small channel, around 400 subscribers, I would say, at the time. And he went by the name of Kumo. And made a video on Weiss. It was a lengthy video. It had a lot of Kai's footage. Then Kai did the unholy, unspoken rule of striking this small channel. After Kai struck this small channel, there were a lot of people that felt like, oh, it's time to take shots at this guy. Basically, let's sacrifice Kai, which a lot of people were all for. I was for it, of course, at the time. I'm sure a lot of other people in the art community that Kai had pissed off were all for it. Basically, Kai was getting sacrificed, and everybody was loving it, right? And it was all because Akumo made a fucking video, and Kai struck it. And that's when the downhill spiral started. Shortly after, John Swan, of all people, wanted to capitalize off this by being the fucking savior, even though he had gotten, he's taken L after L. But at this point, let's be real, anybody could have, went at Kai and just taken him out. So we had John Swan, who was the unofficial savior and the sole contributor to what is right when it comes to copyright, I guess. I don't know. He just came in and he was talking for the little guy, guys. This 100K channel. John Swan, very, very dead, though. Very dead now. He was actually very dead back then, too, but, whatever. So John comes in, and he's the saving grace for everybody. He takes down Kai, kind of. It's like they both were equally fucking terrible in that John is as fucking bland as dry paint. He's boring. He's unoriginal. He's just fucking terrible all around. He's a good editor, but everything else, as a personality, he's fucking shit. Unless he's being a smug prick. And John doesn't really have the balls or the credentials at this point in time after taking all the L's to be a smug prick. So, whatever. It was a shit show. But I did appreciate John doing it nonetheless because, everybody has their role to play, in a sense. So I applauded John Swan, and I was like, good job, John. You're doing a good job, John. And that was that. So that's where the first bumps in the road to Weiss started. Then things got a little more extreme. Things got a little more extreme. Hello, Alpha King GX. How's it going, buddy? After that, we went from copyright, and we got into a little bit of domestic violence. Just a little bit of domestic violence. We have a little bit of a domestic violence situation that, and when we hear that word, those words put together, rather, it's big buzzwords, man. Everybody gets crazy. Everybody goes insane because they're big buzzwords, right? You get really serious about that. So then all of a sudden you start hearing that Weiss is beating the shit out of his girlfriend. And then it becomes a Chris Brown and Rihanna situation, right? And then that's more fuel on the fucking gasoline. You know, that's like if you fucking go overtime, you go overdrive, overclock that bitch, and then suddenly Kai's a domestic abuser. And now, not only is Kai Weiss what we call a flaggot at that time, right? Not only is he known to the public as a flaggot, now he's known as a flaggot and a domestic abuser, which is not really a good look. You know, not even, you know, Steve Lithgow couldn't pull it off. Kai definitely couldn't pull it off. So we have that situation, and it gets even worse as, of course, as the internet goes, more people need to talk about it in this community, in this drama community, in commentary. But don't worry, even the stupid art people were talking about it too. Oh, they were taking their little fucking victory laps as well. They were moral grandstanding and virtue signaling as well. We'll get into that. But commentary, first and foremost, we're getting into the moral figging. Let's call it moral figging. You know what I'm trying to say. So we got commentary over here. We have people like Tipster, Optimus. My personal favorites then kind of got involved and weighed into Augie Wayne. There's nothing wrong with Augie Wayne because he's Augie. He can't do any wrong, all right? This is not because I'm back on the payroll. Okay, maybe it is. But whatever. You get the point. Everybody's talking about it in commentary. Everybody's pointing out that Kai's a domestic abuser. I think the worst out of all of them were fucking Tipster. And God knows that, you know, Tipster doesn't have a good track record of being the most consistent individual. If you can see, go on Twitter right now, look up what's happening to Tipster, and you'll see video or stream for another fucking day. I love laughing at Tipster's misery, personally. It's one of my guilty pleasures on the internet. But we have a situation with the commentary guys. Gonna talk about this. Optimus, the 1 mil channel, was really what I think made the most impact. Because, I mean, one, it's a 1 mil channel, right? Two, they're basically calling this guy a domestic abuser and shit. And, you know, a flagger, but the domestic abuser bit takes up the entirety of the cake. So at this point, Kai's kind of lost everything. He's lost his girlfriend, he's lost his reputation, he's lost his following, he's lost his cats, and this man hits the downward spiral that only one Ethan Ralph can hit. And it was I mean, for a lot of people it was very pleasurable, you know, that Kai was a piece of shit to a lot of people, and they were all finding pleasure in his misery, you know, as is the internet. But now we fast forward even more. And it seems like Kai Weiss is having a redemption arc of sorts, or maybe not everything was what it seemed. So now we're here. And there's like talks that, you know, Omnia might have fibbed a couple things. You know, you guys, you know, Kai had a stream recently. You know, Jar was in there. You know, Leo Convoy was in the chat. Harley TBS was in the chat. So, you know, if these guys are in there that care about their optics and their morals so much, quote unquote morals, you know that some shit has to be good for Kai. You know, you gotta, like, these motherfuckers are so, there's some of the people that care so much about their online image, right? Whether it's for their brand or whether it's to be one of the cool kids, that if they're in a live chat saying positive things, I'm dumbing it down at the biggest core for you guys. So the stupidest way, the most surface level thing, if you got these 3 figs in fucking, and I love Jar, but I'm still going to call him a fake. But if you got these three figs that care a lot about fucking optics in Kai Weiss's chat saying positive things to him, then that means that there must be some redemption for Kai Weiss, that there's something we don't know about Kai Weiss, that maybe Kai Weiss was Johnny Depp. Well, let's find out for ourselves. Let's get this interview going, all right? Now that I've pretty much relived the tale of the tape. You have a golden age where Godwinson and Jim Now we have the internet incels in their room who read lolly. You mean like Flamenco and Michael Alberto? Oh yeah, those guys are going to be the champions of the next blood sports, bro. I love the charisma that Flamenco and Michael Alberto bring whenever they post Lucky Star images that are totally not lewd in their cell phones. Very great stuff. I find believing either of them very difficult. Akumo, Omnia's track record of lying is lengthy, long before that shit, but so is Kai's. Akumo, what do you got to say about Lio Conboy, Jar, and Harley TBS saying positive things in Kai Weiss's chat? Kai also cleared the closet on Omnia and Thuman. You guys, you art community guys, you gotta, somebody needs to make like an entire retrospective or iceberg on every person in this art drama community, because I swear to God, I just can't keep up. They're like these old, like I'm sure, like who, like what the fuck is a Thuman, right? What the, like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm sure they're an important person in this shit, but you know, a little retrospective might be good. I mean, I guess I could go to pedo farms. Maybe the pedophiles there have talked about these art people. You know, maybe. But I don't know. Going onto a site that has child porn is kind of iffy these days. You know, some people don't want to acknowledge that, but you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's all for truth and justice, right? Anyway, let's get into let's see if Kai is alive. All right, let me call the boy, the homeboy, Kai Weiss. Kai Weiss. Oh shit, it's Kai. What's up, Kai?
Don't introduce me with such enthusiasm.
Why? What's wrong, bro? What's wrong, buddy?
Like, I am literally just a person.
No, man, you could be, to me right now, it seems like you're a guy. Now, all right, now I'm coming into this whole thing semi-blind, right?
Okay.
So, you know, as I see it right now from a surface level, from the little things that I got from your live stream, because I wasn't there for the entire thing, I was there for little bits. You know, I sipped a little bit of Gatorade, and I was watching people like say, you know, positive things to you. But what I get from this is that you might have been Johnny Depp a little bit. Is that fair to say, or what's the story here?
Like, I don't even want to consider it like Johnny Depp because I hate everybody in that court case. I think Amber is fucking insufferable, and I think Johnny is insufferable. Both are insufferable
for his own reasons, right? For
yeah,
you know, in his own way.
Yeah, I think both of these characters are insufferable. But yeah, I was just fucked over by an ex, and I came out of it. I would like to say, or I would like to look at it like, fine. I'm sure when this entire situation popped off, everybody thought that like, oh shit, he's going to jail. No, no, I'm not.
Yeah, a lot of people that were covering this are like, you know, they were calling you Chris Brown, and they were saying that you beat the shit out of Omnia. Like, Tipster even made a thumbnail where he amplified her bruisings or whatever, and like that was like whoa, okay, bro. Like that was a shit show.
So much shit I could say about everybody who went over this situation, but I just don't fucking care. All I can say about Tipster, fat. Like, that's my only, like, okay.
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, you make
at least I can get out of my chair.
Yeah.
If I were to ever throw shots at anybody in the situation, if I were to talk shit about Tipster, at least I can get out of my chair, bro. So, you know, people made their content. It was what it was. Omnia will be responding whenever they decide to respond. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm good. Like, regardless of what people on YouTube want to say, and regardless of what people on YouTube want to do, in terms of this entire situation, one thing for certain is that 7 of my charges are dropped. 1, I made the choice to plead guilty to, and I'm not in jail. So whatever you tell me, you really can't tell me shit. So
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. So what is the TLDR of your court situation? I'm assuming you could talk about it now because you had
Yeah.
a stream about it.
The TLDR is that when the situation popped off, Omnia came to court like a lot. Like they came for like almost every hearing, and then they suddenly just stopped going. So it was just me showing up to court like every month for the past 16 months. And eventually we had a preliminary hearing. Then that was a disaster. Then the case moved courts, and after the case moved courts, we were now in a completely different court. So it's like the entire shit started all over again because I just would not take the plea deal that Omnia was offering me. Then we made it to circuit court, and eventually we were supposed to go to trial on the 16th of February, but then that got delayed, and prosecution just ended up giving me a plea deal, which was different than the one that Omnia wanted, and I just took it because it was a really good plea deal. So, and it wasn't what Omnia wanted, and that made me even more satisfied. So
Somebody is gonna fucking
it ended
the fuck
there,
out of you.
but
So
it
some of
was
this
a
stupid
very,
shit that
very
you
long
fucking said.
process,
Damn
and
chippy
eventually
fat
we
as
got to the
hell
end of
lol.
it.
So is it fair to say that everything that on the internet that was made, like the videos that were made on you, calling you a domestic abuser, Chris Brown 2.0, is a little exaggerated?
Very exaggerated, but I mean, like, what else is new in commentary? Like,
Yeah.
naturally, this is what people are gonna do. They're gonna hear a bit. I honestly, even I would probably do it if I wasn't Kai Weiss myself. Like, I would go out of my way and see something like this happen. I would probably. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't give a shit about this community anymore. To the point that, like, even if I saw something like this happen, I would just call everyone stupid and keep it moving.
Kai say, Tipster is a fat bastard who fakes
Yeah,
his
'cause,
alcoholism and uses his
you say
life as a human
commentary,
shield
and
to
yeah, that's
deflect
true.
from
It was
criticism.
definitely a lot on the commentary side. But weren't there also some people in the art community that I believe you're cool with now that were also making videos taking Omni aside?
Yes. I think Harley released one, but that got taken down. Thuman has been on Omnia's side this entire time, but that's literally to be expected. I think Hopeless Peaches made a few tweets about it as it was going. Like, some of them I still have a problem with, but I really don't care to bring it up on my YouTube channel anymore because I can't be arsed. But I think Lanza did a video on me that I reacted to one day, and that video pissed me the fuck off. But I mean,
Wait, why?
it was just full of misinformation. He just took everything that Omnia said at face value and just kind of ran with it. So it's literally what I expected. Everything was what I expected.
So you said Harley TBS made a video on you that he then took down. I'm guessing that he took it down after you guys talked or after the more information came out?
Conversation at some point. It was like at some point in like maybe I don't know, like fucking somewhere before July. Like at some point we had a conversation. It was a good talk. We kind of squashed beef and that was it. Like I made it a point and behind the scenes to just talk to everybody who I had a scandal with and shit like that. I talked to Spivey, I talked to Skritus. That call was a fucking disaster, but at least I was able to like squash shit in some way. I talked with Harley. I had a call with Jar at some point. I had a call with Lio at some point. Like, I think I talked to like literally everyone in the midst of this entire situation.
Did you talk to Akumo? Do you remember Akumo?
Akumo was in my comment section in one of the videos before they went down. I told Akumo like, "Hey, sorry about the whole copyright thing."
Yeah.
But yeah, I talked to Akumo as well. I talked to pretty much everyone and just kind of squashed everything because, I mean, Kai Weiss was kind of fucking insufferable. Like the me now would probably hate him. So
Is there anybody, any creator, content creator out there, aside from Omnia, I'm assuming, that still hate your guts or don't particularly care about you, still think you're guilty?
if there is, I don't care. If I'm being quite honest with you, if there is, I really don't give a fuck. Anybody who like they're already set in stone about who I am anyway, and 9 times out of 10, I'm not really interested in being friends with anybody in this community for real, for real. So like, if there is somebody out there who fucking hates me and still thinks I'm guilty, like eat my ass, I guess.
Wait, okay, so can you explain some of the details of what was exaggerated in this whole situation? Because I know you went over it on your live stream, but I kind of want like a TLDR. So like, for example, the whole thing about Omnia and her account being jacked and, you know, stuff like that. Like,
Literally every accusation that Omnia brought up to me does not, for one, I did not do, and two, when they took it to court, none of the evidence was strong enough for it to go to trial. So me deleting their channel, not strong enough evidence. Me hacking their accounts, not strong enough evidence. Me strangling them, not strong enough evidence. Me punching them in the face, straddling them, and just beating the shit out of them like that. Not enough evidence. There was enough, there was probable cause for one of the charges. And wildly enough, I pled guilty to domestic assault and battery despite only being charged with simple assault. So even then, it gets worse. There were a bunch of protective order violations. One I gave a bit of credibility to, and the rest of them, no, I did not do. So pretty much everything in regards to the case, on top of Omnia's behaviors on social media, just kind of ruined everything. So it was a huge waste of time and money for everyone involved. More so me, because I had to keep driving from where I live down to where me and Omnia both used to live just to deal with this situation. And half of the time, like, nothing happened. So it was just a big ass waiting game until I finally got my plea deal, and now it's finally over.
huh. Interesting. Yeah. Because I've what, like, to go back to the deal and stuff. Are you able to tell us what the deal was?
Yeah, I actually explained it in my video. The plea deal was that I pled guilty to domestic assault and battery, and all of my other charges get dropped. Some of them felonies, a lot of them misdemeanors, and that's exactly what I did because the evidence wasn't strong enough to present a good case. And on top of that, when we went to court on the final day that this was supposed to be dealt with on, I believe, the 20th of April, before it really concluded on the 21st. On the 20th of April, prosecution had to come forward and explain to the judge exactly why they came to the decision that they came to. And they explained that, well, it would seem that Omnia, not to use her real name, was not being truthful with us, and there would be a lot of credibility issues in regards to the trial itself. So there was really no reason moving forward, and they thought the plea deal that I received would be the most fair decision given all the evidence that was looked over.
I see. Has Omnia broken her silence about this? Like, has she said anything regarding this whole situation?
Yeah, a lot. My most recent video is going over a lot of what they said. They started going on this tirade about I'm going to release evidence diffusers so I can build my credibility. They also did a stream that I was supposed to react to. But they privatized the stream in the middle of me reacting to it. So
oh yeah, I think I remember you saying that too.
That kind of got into the gutter. So they built their confidence a bit more on Twitter. And now they're gearing to make a video, which I'll react to on stream. Because I'm not writing the script for this person again. But no, thank you.
You know, it's basically you are not guilty on, you know, most of your the things that she alleged in court, right? So you're clean there. In
I'm
the
pretty much.
eyes of the public, I'm sure they're going to be, especially on Twitter, and I'm presuming YouTube, they're going to be people that are always going to be like, hey, there's the guy, there's the girl beater and shit like that.
Bro, at this point, I don't give a fuck. Like, if I'm being really real with you,
Yeah.
I don't know any of these fucking people, bro. Like, if I was somebody, maybe if you told Kai Weiss, who fucking took down Akumu's video, that he was a woman beater and a domestic abuser, then like, yeah, maybe that guy would care. But the me now, bro, I don't give a shit. I see discussion about me. It comes
Mhm.
across me every now and again, and I see what these people say about me. And I can't bring myself to care. I can't bring myself to like, oh my gosh, let me break down this bit of misinformation about me, or
Yeah.
let me react to this, or let me react to that. The only person who's really, and I'll give them the credit for this, the only person who's really able to piss me off in regards to this situation is Omnia. And that's because I lived with this person and I
Mhm.
dated this person. So
Mhm.
like obviously emotionally they would have some form of an effect on me. But when it comes to their followers and them like saying dumb shit, or like anybody who might like them or dislikes me or anything like that, like I don't know these people. So what's the point of getting myself worked up over some random nigga's opinion? Like, to bring up Tipster, like what the fuck do I look like getting mad over some fat nigga's opinion on the internet, bro? It's just...
Yo, I feel like this whole situation with Omnia really, because you mentioned if you were to tell the Kai Weiss from back then this, that it would get under his skin a lot more. But I feel like this whole situation with Omnia and what you went through really changed your perspective on a lot of things and maybe even helped you grow a little bit. Is that fair to say?
I think I've matured a lot, and I've done so much growth behind the scenes after dealing with this entire thing that, yeah, um I just don't fucking care about anything anymore, at least not in terms of the internet. And I don't know, like, I do agree with some of the criticisms that were brought up about me in terms of like, oh my god, he's so fucking arrogant and shit like that, and smug, and like I'll give it, like, I don't really give a shit if you think I'm smug or if I'm rude or if you think I'm aggressive. Like, it's the internet, like stop being such a bitch. But um when it comes to other things like that are genuine criticisms, like, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, and stop being so fucking reactive to everything. Like, yeah, that's a valid criticism, and it took like losing my partner, losing my platform and shit like that to actually like come to the conclusion like, yeah, that is valid. And like, I'm not always right, and I think the Kai at the time thought that no matter what he said, like, he was right. But it's not all about you, stupid. So like, get over yourself and be a bit more humble, and people will like you more.
Yeah, I think this entire situation, if there's one silver lining to it, is I think it did build your character, and I can definitely see the Kai from back then very different from the Kai of today. You do definitely look like you've chilled more. You do definitely seem like you're more humble, right? It's an interesting, very positive shift in the right direction, I'd say.
There's nothing else
Personally,
that a person can do in response to the situation other than like be a better person. Like, I if I'd made the choice to just be fucking bitter, angry, and upset like all my life, then what good is that gonna do me? I'm entirely too young to just sit here and be mad about internet shit for the entirety of my life. So like, yeah, there's a lesson in everything that happens on the internet, whether you're a commentary YouTuber or whatever the fuck. Like, learn something. And that's what I tried to do. Not that I need too much credit for that. It's just do that whenever you're under fire about something.
mm. Now, when this all started, we heard Omnia's side where she made multiple tweets saying what had happened, from where the altercation allegedly took place, and like a semi timeline of everything that had happened, along with the photos she posted. Do you want to clear up any of that? Like, was there anything where it was you want to clear up and say,
I think
this wasn't what happened. This is actually what happened.
a
Um,
majority of it I've kind of cleared up in video.
mhm,
Anything else I'll probably clear up in my own live stream.
mhm,
But like plenty of accusations like I was abusive, I would beat my cat, like I would hurt the cats because apparently Omnia is now on this thing where it's like, well, it's not that he would hurt the cats, it was that the cats would get caught up in his outburst of anger. It's just none of that happened. While I can say that I wasn't the best partner in the world because I don't think anybody is the perfect partner, and there are a lot of situations where Omnia is valid in the sense that like I was arrogant. I wasn't good with communicating my feelings or understanding their feelings. Like the shoe fits on the other foot. So, like anything that Omnia could have said about how I performed poorly in our relationship, I could very well say the same thing about them.
mhm,
But like at the end of the day, when it comes to like shit about like isolating them, uh making emotionally abusing them, verbally abusing them over YouTube drama bullshit. Like none of that is true. It's incredibly exaggerated, and it's just something that Omni intends to do when they need to like build rapport with the public or just like make themselves look as much of a victim as possible.
mhm.
Which I maybe I'm shitty for saying this, like Omnia tends to do often. It's almost like they like being looked at as this victim, but given my experiences with them and given the way that I've been through this situation, because like obviously I've been through more than the public has seen behind the scenes, this person is anything but a victim. Maybe they disagree with me on that, and obviously they probably would. But nah, Omni is not a victim at all. They're a gold digger. I'll say that. Money motivated, but
Hmm.
definitely not a victim whatsoever.
So I see this one tweet pulled up from May 1st, and this is by, I believe, Hopeless Peaches, the rebel, that rebel Rosie, right? That's Peaches.
That's Rosie.
Yeah, I see
Or
Omnia and
Rosie
Kai.
Rose.
It reads, I see Omnia and Kai are at each other again. Throughout all of this, there have been provable lies, wish list of stolen items containing things that were never owned, stalking socials, literally having screenshots of each other deleted tweets, and from minutes after posting, and overall stupidity that would always fuck with a court case. Jail fanfics, constant tweeting, etc. None of this should have been public. Saying people want me to make things private things public is bullshit because you guys chose to make it public in the first place. So now you have a botched court hearing due to obsessive tweeting, which both will spin for their own favor. Nobody will know what happened in that house, but I know that from personal experience, the only two involved aren't trustworthy enough to tell you. Block and heal. And do you have anything to say in regards to these three tweets?
I think Hopeless Peaches just runs her mouth a lot, and there's really nothing I can do about it. Sometimes they have good takes, sometimes they don't have good takes. And obviously this is just one of their instances where they see something that's happening between both me and Omnia and just decide to give their 2 cents about it. I don't really think that they have too much of a place to say anything about it, but it's their Twitter account, so I can't really stop them from tweeting anything. Um, but what I feel about all of these tweets, I don't give a fuck. It's your opinion. Like,
Yeah, because I was looking at how like you guys might be on better terms. Because again, I saw, I saw Jar and Harley and Lyle Convoy, and I even saw Harley say some positive things, and Harley took down one of the videos. So I'm trying to gauge what exactly where do you stand with these people, and does it cause any friction, given that they're pretty close together too? Like, how does this all work? Is there any friction
um,
between you guys? Any
I
distrust?
don't
How?
think I have any friction with anyone because I know I say this a lot, but I don't give a fuck about this community. Like There was a point in time that I almost relapsed, and I reached out to Harley, and I reached out to like another person in the art community after I released my thread. And then in the middle of that, I was like, you know what? Actually, bro, I don't need any help. Don't spread the word about this video. I really don't give a shit. So I don't really like Rosie, but I don't dislike Rosie either. I don't really like Harley, but I don't dislike Harley either. I don't really like Lio, but I don't dislike Lio either. I'm very neutral on all of these people. They just kind of show up and leave whenever something big happens to me,
Mhm.
or there's like some drama between me and Omnia. They might reach out to me for like more information or something like that, but that's like the most I hear from them. Like at most they're acquaintances. I'm not friends with any of these people. I don't really care to or want to be friends with any of these people. If they want to contact me for like any information on whatever they need information on, like, you know, I'm an open book, but as I am with you. But other than that, like, I don't really want to get I'm not interested in having a, you know, let's do collaborations, Harley. Let's do collaborations. Like, I don't care. So I just want to get this shit over with and then go back to making videos that I like making, and, you know, just leave the sheep to their grazing or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Okay, so you're basically on neutral terms with these people. They kind of just come and go, and
Yeah.
it's not like you guys are buddy buddy or looking to bond over certain situations, right?
Yeah,
Or
hell no.
yeah, because you seem like you want to be very detached from the internet now. Almost like this
Yeah.
whole situation has made you a little jaded, and I don't know, maybe even a little more independent. But yeah, I see this, and it's very weird. It's very strange because I think they're on your side, but then I like, okay, one day I'll see that it looks like they're on your side, and then the next, I don't know, week or so or couple of days I'll see something like this, and it'll be like, well, okay, maybe they're not on your side because this
I
tweet,
think it's
not
just
to instigate
honestly,
anything, but these tweets are
no.
very much taking shots at
I think
both of
it's just an
you.
optics thing. It really is just from my perspective, at least, because I don't want to speak on the behalf of anybody involved. I think it's just an optics thing, that, or they just see what they see and they give their 2 cents on their Twitter profile. As long as like y'all don't bring that shit to me or have me deal with your fan bases, I could really care less about what you have to say about my situation. Like, I might look at it and think, oh, that's weird, but like it doesn't go any further than that. But you are correct in the sense that I am kind of jaded from this entire situation, where it's just like, I don't want really anything to do with this community. I'm very happy where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten so much good news in my personal life that, like, whatever these people are doing is of no I will go as far as to say, like, if you were talking to the old me, like, that was incredibly terminally online and was getting into discourse 24/7, like, yeah, he would totally care and want to clear up everything as soon as possible. But like now, say whatever you want.
Yeah,
Okay.
I also see, like, it's funny you say all that, but I also see some people like saying things like, in regards to Rosie's tweet, that it's classic chronic online behavior. I don't know how else I can describe them. I bet they're going to somehow spin the blame towards something or someone else when this all implodes like they usually do, since they're both so allergic to self-reflection.
This person probably, they are very mad at Kai Weiss, the character, instead of Zay, the person. So, I mean, yeah, Kai Weiss would probably totally do that. But I'm not Kai Weiss, so I mean, technically I am, but I'm really not the character that you've drummed me up to be in your head. So, I mean, good luck on waiting for that to happen.
Yeah,
I
it
don't.
seems like what I'm seeing here, and even when Akumo first came into chat, his whole thing was, I'll read this tweet, but I think this tweet kind of describes it, and it's like, one thing that came out of this is Kai sharing information about how the whole thing with Creepshow was a coordinated via Discord. Shame most people ignored that, since it adds all the missing pieces to why Omnia at one point warned people that they will end up like their friend. So something like you
Oh,
gave out information about a situation.
so oh my god, fucking creep show art. So in the past, Omnia, me, Thuman, Prison Mate Luke, Phantom Heart, and Junkie were all in a Discord group together created by Omnia. And not really much happened. It really, I wouldn't chalk it up as like, oh my gosh, this was a collaborative effort to try and ruin content creators. There was shit talked about in that. I mean, some shit was kind of coordinated. I don't really know how to describe it. There was a point in time that like, well, I can confirm that Amia, Prison Mate, like everybody in there was aware of the videos on Peaches. Everybody came together when it came to releasing the video, my second Hopeless Peaches video. The experience continued. I don't even remember what I called that shit. I can't play that for 2 hours. Um, giving me screenshots of shit that Peaches was saying, but didn't really want to get involved with it themselves. Like, and to segue with that, like Thuman is probably one of the biggest drama queens that I've ever met, but like they instigate shit, but they don't ever really want to be part of it. So a lot of the screenshots that I got in regards to Thuman or in regards to Peaches were from Thuman. So like whatever the private Discord Peaches was talking about, like that screenshot came from Thuman. The biggest extent that I had in like any of these dramas was going into Peach's Discord, public Discord, and grabbing screenshots that reference Omnia. And even then I regret that shit because why the fuck am I doing that for Omnia? But you know, live and learn, I guess. But overall, yeah, there was a Discord that existed. Creepshow was in it. I didn't really speak that much in it. Not to say that I didn't speak in it at all, but I didn't really speak that much in it. Omnia created it. Everybody got into calls every now and again. It was pretty fine, honestly. Like it was just a bunch of content creators kind of chatting it up every now and again, talking about drama every now and again. Dulu was in it at some point. That's the one person I forgot. Dulu was also in it. And we discussed shit. Sometimes we agreed, sometimes we disagreed. But to say that like, you know, we were all on the same page about everything would be a lie. It was just a group chat with content creators in it that ended up dying after Creepshow Art got canceled, and then ended up dying even more after Prison Mate Luke got canceled. And just like slowly everybody in the chat just started, I guess, kind of disliking each other. I think the only people left in there that are associated with one another are Omnia and Thuman. I don't think Omnia is friends with Dulu anymore.
Jesus, Kai, what the fuck? This
There's a lot of shit behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about that
would
I'm
you
well aware of.
would you consider what happened there to be ops, like some kind of like coordinated attack to get people
I think in a way it was. I think a lot of the people in the chat, I think Dulu is pretty easygoing and pretty rational if I could, you know, give my opinions on everyone. Luke was, if I'm really being honest, I think Luke is a fucking idiot. A kind guy. I think he's super kind and he means well, but he's a fucking dumbass. Um
would you care to
and
expand on why that is?
I'd one day I was making a video that I wanted Luke to be part of, and I wanted him to apologize to Hopeless Peaches. So it was like a PR optics thing. Like you didn't even have to be sorry, bro. Like just apologize so people don't fucking get mad at you like they are right now, because obviously you're in the hot seat. He obviously didn't want to do that. So I had him send me his section of the video that he wanted to put in my video. I listened to it over, and it was just the most embarrassing recording I've ever heard in my life. If Luke, if you ever watch this, I'm sorry, but like it was hilarious how bad it was. Um I never put that section of the video. I never put that recording in my video because I just thought it was so fucking bad. I tried helping him and like revising his script to where he actually said the words "I'm sorry" to Rosie, but like he just didn't want to do it, so I just left it alone. Phantom Heart, which was Junkie's like script editor and editor in general, I think. She was sweet girl. I think she just kind of got caught up in the wrong crowd, and this really wasn't for her. This entire YouTube drama thing wasn't for her. Hopefully she's still focusing on school. Junkie, I didn't really know Junkie like that. I didn't really trust him from the very beginning, but Omnia trusted him, and me and Omnia had an argument about that at some point. But you know, me and Junkie kind of got cool after the fact, and then he sort of disappeared after his drama. Thumin is a lot more emotional and over dramatic behind the scenes than they are in public, and I don't have a big enough following to let everybody know that. But Thumin is just as much of a drama queen as Omnia is, so of course naturally the both of them are good friends. Like, I literally put out evidence that Omnia was willing to lie on Thumin's name just to not admit to their ex that they cheated on them with me. But I guess Thumin just didn't give a shit. I even had Omnia apologize to Thumin for even doing that shit. But, you know, at the end of the day, I still ended up, you know, being the abuser or whatever the fuck. But overall, that chat was fucking cancer. And Shannon was insufferable. In my experiences of talking with Shannon, I think she was sweet on the surface. She was very, very nice on a base level. But when it came to some of the shit that she talked about, if you asked her for proof for any of the shit that she said, she could never provide it for the life of her. And I think that's what kind of turned me off to Shannon. But I mean, Omnia liked all these people. And the only reason I was really in the chat was because Omnia was in the chat. And I didn't do much interaction, but a couple of calls. But yeah, that was square.
Oh my god. Damn, Kai, you're really spilling the tea right now, man.
Bro, I don't give a fuck about any of these people. They don't pay my bills. I could give a shit about what they think about me exposing this or what they think about me exposing that. That's what made Thumin so fucking upset when I came out about what was going on in on Omnia's script and how they co-sign that and shit. Like, I what do I gain from making any of this shit up? Like, all these people are awful. If you want to call me awful, obviously you're the company you keep. So equally, all of the people who I surrounded myself with were awful too. If you want to talk shit about Kai Weiss, go ahead, talk shit about him. He was kind of a piece of shit. I'll give it to you. But what is, you think he was the only piece of shit in that entire group? Eat my ass.
Yeah. Oh my god, Kai. Yo, and you know what? I finally found Omnia's Twitter. I found out that I didn't see anything because I had her muted. But, oh my god, you weren't joking. Jesus, the tweets, man. She's made so many fucking
on this
tweets.
entire fucking tirade for days, bro.
Like,
and I was like,
some of this
I was
shit
like,
is
okay,
crazy.
I was like, at first I was like, okay, I'm just let her. My fault, not her. I'm gonna let them speak, and just let things, you know, sit, because I thought that they were done after the first thing, and then they just kept going, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll address the rest of this stuff. None of what they're coming out about has anything to do with what I brought up in my video, but like, I mean, that's fine. If you want me to address this too, I'll go forward and address it. But don't expect me to do this again, to where I'm gonna fucking write another hour-long script talking about some person I dated fucking nearly 2 years ago. I'm good, bro.
Like, oh my god, Kai. This is like, she's bringing out weird screenshots of like, I don't know, a Google Doc as well. What the fuck? She's
All of this shit I've already debunked in my video. So
she's getting like screenshots of your tweets. She's like the proof I have for 4 protective order violations. There were tweets and things
I
that
went
Kai said
over
publicly around the same time that these 2 violations were committed that line up pretty well with what I'm alleging. Yada yada yada, stuff like that. So I don't know. She's going on about how you violated all these orders and shit, and she's showing screenshots of like text messages, I guess. She's showing a certain someone is acting like there wasn't sufficient evidence for the 8 charges.
If I'm being quite honest, every single one of those tweets made me want to. Well, this is YouTube. It made me want to unalive. I don't want to fuck your bag up, but a lot of these tweets made me want to unalive and jump off a bridge. But I still addressed them in my video. I still took care of all of them. I don't know why Omnia is doing any of this, considering the fact that, again, if any of these accusations went to court, they would not hold up. There would be they keep going on this weird rant about, oh, I was able to establish probable cause, and Kai claimed that since his charges were dropped that he's innocent. Like having to go through all that and then write up a response of, no, I didn't do any of this, no, I didn't ever say that that my charges being dropped meant my innocence. It just meant that Omnia's story had credibility issues, which adheres to my argument of my innocence. But I'm not sitting here forcing everyone to be like, hey, you must believe me. If you don't want to believe me, like, just don't fucking, I don't care. This this entire situation is fucking, it's done and over with. Obviously, I'm not in jail. Obviously, it didn't go the direction that Omnia wanted it to. So just like, hi, I'm still here. So I don't know what to say for half of this shit.
Yeah, she definitely goes on like little bits of tirades. I'm sure she went on a tirade in the live stream too. She's trying to take a shot at anybody believing you. She's like, if you believe Kai for a second about how drop charges equal his innocence regarding the crimes I obtained warrants on, then you are exposing just how little you understand about the criminal justice system. And then she screenshots a bunch of Google shit. So
I think the only person who is making themselves look stupid in this entire situation is Omnia. And I'm not even really trying to take shots, but like, ow, I guess, like, you look really fucking dumb when you say shit like this. Hey guys, I pulled up a Google definition of an arrest warrant. Like you're too stupid to understand what an arrest warrant, like, everyone knows what an arrest warrant is. It still doesn't mean that you were able to establish guilt, and that's what you were supposed to do in this entire fucking court case. But your prosecutor, it got to the point that your prosecutor didn't even fucking believe you anymore because you wouldn't shut the hell up on Twitter. Like, I can take the criticism when someone tells me, like, hey, Kai, you're talking too much on Twitter. Yeah, okay, facts. Did anyone tell Omnia that shit?
Yeah,
but it is what it is, bro.
I think even there was this person on Twitter that I think sees cracks in this whole thing, because Omnia, April 22nd, made like 3 tweets. Basically, for those of you who have supported me through my domestic violence case these past 16 months, I'm forever grateful. Yada, 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 stuff like that.
I'm sorry, every time I have to hear some shit about Omnia talking about, oh my gosh, I love my fan base. You guys are so great. Like,
in the second tweet,
want to die.
In the second tweet, she actually takes shots at your, I guess, 50-minute video.
Yes, I'm aware.
Like, that's fucking crazy. I thought you would want to make a video defending yourself of heinous shit that they're accusing you of.
For what reason would apparently I scrambled to put a 50-minute, like, I trust and believe I did not scramble to put a 50-minute video out. I literally added an update to the entire situation about the court case just being done and over with, and I stitched literally 45 minutes of a video I already made to that video. I already addressed half of this shit. It's just that now there's more context. Hey, look at this again. I wasn't lying. So I don't know why Omnia is so upset or why they were even aware that the video released. But me and my grandma didn't even get back home from court before Omnia started tweeting about it. It wasn't until I got home that I found out that they released a tweet in regards to the entire situation. And I was like, bro, already? I wasn't even going to say anything about it. I was just going to leave it alone. And I was like, well, if Omnia says anything, then yeah, I'll release a video. But if this situation ends and neither of us say anything, I don't really feel any need to bring this shit to my platform anymore. But like frame one, Omnia had some shit to say. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm making a video. But it wasn't scrambled. It wasn't rushed or anything. I mean, I guess you can kind of make the argument that it was rushed, but it's just one video stitched to another video. So
She just
I wouldn't
sounds
really
very
consider it
salty
rushed.
that you made a video that I think
I just
people
think
are
that they're
believing.
bitter. I think that they're just very, very bitter about that I'm not behind bars. I think they're just mad about that. I don't know. I can't help them with whatever the fuck their emotions are right now or whatever that they're going through in regards to finding this information out. Like if you showed up to court, then maybe you would have gotten a different outcome or something. I don't know. I can't help them with this.
Like there are like people that are seeing your side, but then there are people that are still defending Omnia, and they say that this isn't YouTube drama, this is about a crime, this internet shit anymore for you to observe because you have nothing else going on. These are real people with
I
real
think I know
lives.
exactly who you're talking about. I
And
think that's BBL Mini Wheats.
yes,
Yeah,
they
that's
say,
one of
and
the
they end it with,
people
and
in.
Omnia owes you literally nothing.
Oh my
So
god, Omnia has like a fucking I don't know what they did to get these people on their tips so much, but Omnia has like a cult following of people that just and I was under that same spell, honestly. Like I was the first one who was like that no matter what Omnia did, I would be dick riding on Twitter 24/7, even against you, Sen.
yeah,
Both of
Kai,
us.
that's
That was
how our
when we
entire
first
fight
met.
started. That's how
That's what this feud
remember?
entirely started. Yes,
Yeah. It
you
was
said some shit to Omnia, and I was instantly dick riding in the
yeah,
replies.
I
Like,
said
bro,
oh the internet never forgets on me, and then you just show
yes.
up, and then I'm
And
like,
then I
what?
show up. Like
What
that
the
is
fuck, Kai?
half of my scandals are because of Omnia. Half of the drama that I have been in was because I was riding Omnia's tip and defending them over shit that honestly I didn't really even need to get involved in. So now that I'm gone, Omnia found a collection of people that that they have created a hug box in, and they do my old job for me. So I just look at these people, and they're also part of Omnia's little Discord server where they created the fan fiction. And
Well,
I look at
that
these
was
people and
wait. Can you
I
tell
just
me
pity
about what
them.
that was about? That I didn't. I heard about that, but I didn't know what it was. I think I might have seen a tweet on it, but what is this fan fiction thing about?
So back in July of last year, 2022, um, me and my IRL friend Maxine were kind of pushing back on this entire situation and letting shit be known about my side. And I guess at some point in that, there was trouble in paradise on Omnia's end. And somebody in their Discord server betrayed them. And it was a child. It was a 14-year-old child who went by Hexes. And they DM'd my friend and let them know, like, hey, here's what's going on in this server. Omnia created a fanfic day that got updated every single day about what it would be like for Kai to be in prison. And it was just like
What?
all of them role playing like what I would say, what I would do in regards to me being in prison. Some of it had like personal details about
What
my
the
life, my
fuck?
lawyer's name and shit. And
Oh my god.
my friend made a post about it, and Lio and Rosie gave it attention. Very thankful for that. And it kind of spread, and I think that was the second thing that kind of shot Omnia's entire credibility down. But yeah, it was like some weird Wattpad-esque bullshit where like they all just pretended to be me and just like make it seem like I was just this obsessed person who wanted to be on Twitter all the time, and I was talking on sock puppets and shit. Like, bro, it was like reading it is so cringe, and it's like, for one, some of y'all are grown, like grown fucking adults, and y'all engaged in this shit even in private. That's embarrassing. But like the fact that it was given to me by one of the members, and one of those members being a child, and you allowed a child to get into this, like if that doesn't tell you who the fuck I'm dealing with right now, I don't know what will. or the collective amount of people who I'm dealing with. Come to find out that Omnia takes my real name and my address and like leaks it to all of these strangers on the internet, and it's just
what the fuck,
bro, it's bad. Apparently, one of these people go to school with Omnia, and I'm like, I don't think I really feel safe with all these people knowing like shit about, like, these are internet strangers. But Omnia just feels entirely too comfortable with telling people that they don't know, like, intimate, intricate details about their life. But I mean, I can't help them with that. It's just kind of cringe. So that's all I can really say about it.
That is really weird, and I find that this whole thing to be even funnier now that I read this. So she wrote like 10 fucking tweets about you, and it's apparently receipts, I guess, but it's also like a build up to that video you were talking about earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
In one of the tweets, she says that this absolute freak show of a person, if you haven't caught on by now, Kai then proceeds to send me a Google Doc link. Like, and it's like, okay, that's great, no, but that seems very tame compared to the shit you've done, like in regards to,
like,
to him, you know?
Say it is true, and I sent you a Google Docs link to talk to you. Like, say that that's true. I've already debunked this, but say that that is true, and I did that, bro. What is it sending a fucking Google Docs link to make sure that you're okay after a school shooting have to do? Like, how is that even remotely worse than creating a fucking fan fiction of me being in jail collectively with like 11 other different people? Who is the freak show here? Can we please be for real for like 2 seconds?
Yeah, and then the
I would
end
much
of
rather
this,
be sent a Google Doc than discover that my docs and my fucking and like 11 other people are talking about me. Like, bro, are you serious?
yeah, I think it's also funny at the end of this tweet, she ends it with calling it psychotic. So
The only psycho here is Omnia, bro. Like,
yeah, the one making fan fictions of you being in
the one
prison.
making fan fictions, leaking my real name and address, that's pretty fucking psychotic. I not for a single moment throughout this entire situation have I felt the need to tell anybody Omnia's real name, where Omnia lives at. Like, Omnia does all that shit on their own volition because they're so attention deprived that they have to do anything to make somebody give them validation. And maybe if they ever watch this might piss them off, but like, Omnia's like, they just need to be in the spotlight for some reason, or have somebody like them, or validate what they're saying, or validate what they're doing. Like, they have no backbone. So like, I when I see this shit, I can't really be as mad about it more than I am annoyed and just pitiful that they're like this. But like, I mean, I'm not dating them anymore, so it's not really my problem to fix their problems. Like, that's your life, so live it.
That just seems like a lot of projection on her end with this
I
whole
think
thing.
it's a lot of projection too. Like, Omnia is very quick to insult me, very quick to like talk shit. I think it's just one of those things where I think I'm really getting under their skin, and they're trying to make it seem like they're very unbothered and shit like that. Like, I know how Omnia works. Omnia doesn't react like this unless you really got to them. They don't start, cranking up the emojis, keyboard mashing, all that. They don't do that if they're not bothered. If they were honestly like telling the truth and didn't really like if I was really blowing smoke out of my ass about the shit that I was bringing to the public, like Omnia wouldn't really even react to some shit like this. But because Omnia knows me and they know it's true, they're doing all of this extra shit to try and damage control in regards to the shit that's come out about them. Like none of these threads have anything to do with the Amazon wish list or all of the other bullshit that they've done.
Yeah, it
So
seems
I
like
just let him talk.
she's just trying to make you look bad, it seems, or like
Yeah, I think it's just a thing where they just want to make me look worse in an attempt to deflect from what I brought up. Thuman does the same shit where if I bring up something about them, they're like, "Oh well, you beat the shit out of Omnia." And it's like I've done nothing of the sort. I've always held the defense that I acted in self-defense.
yeah.
Obviously Omnia did not look like they got strangled and punched in the face and elbowed in the face multiple times. So
Hmm.
obviously the entire situation is exaggerated.
Well, maybe
But
after
people
the
are going
tipster
to believe
added,
what
yeah.
they believe. Yeah, to the point that Tipster had to add some.
Yeah, that was he actually got a little bit of blowback for that. I mean, he was like,
Yeah,
"Whoa,"
because
we
of
were
the
like,
fucking
he's
stupid
like,
thing you
"Whoa,
did,
tipster."
you fat idiot! Are you fucking kidding me?
He was like, "Oh, well, I was just trying to, like." I don't even know what he
Trying to
said. He deletes
vocalize
his
like the
tweets.
fucking.
He
I was trying
deletes
to
his
let
tweets
people
so
know to
often. I
shut
don't
up.
even know. I don't even know why he did that.
Even if I was an abuser, bro, you're still a fucking dumbass for doing that shit. Are you stupid? Like, but whatever. I hope he learned his lesson, bro. I'm not letting him get me out of my element. But it's just funny and pathetic, bro. Like y'all are so desperate for content.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. Like it seems like from like when I see from Akumu and Peaches, they seem to be like, well, they're both not trustworthy. From what I see here, though, you seem to be more consistent, and you actually have you have the debunks. You actually use 50 minutes to make a debunk to her statements. Obviously, the court favored you, and from how she's acting, you're right. She is acting very erratic, and
They
it
went
seems
mask off, bro.
she's
They
not
went mask
really
off.
trying to say or show that you're in the wrong, but mostly she's trying to like character attack you, make you look like a stalker or fucking
Yeah.
crazy, so that maybe people can like sympathy gather on her side. And she's lost. I think she's lost a good like compared to what? When was this? Like
So
a year ago?
when they popped off, like they were getting so close. Like if
Mhm.
none of this stuff happened, I almost guarantee that Omnia would be at 50,000 subscribers right now. They were on the track. Like everything was in their favor. All of the odds were stacked against me. Omnia had so much support from so many well-known creators and shit, like with tons of followers that were willing to do collaborations with them, willing to do videos with them. Like they were really, really popping off. Their videos were doing numbers. Like their Creep Show video got 100K. Their Z Fixes art got 100K. They were doing a collaboration with Shuli and Muhammad, and like everything was going good for them. Like I was really in the gutter. But like I don't know what the hell happened behind the scenes for Omnia to fuck all that up. But
She just kept talking.
I think it's just their narcissism played against them, that they shot too close to the sun and eventually burned out, and now they're in the position that they're in now. Not to say that it's bad, like still having 17,000 subscribers is a great thing.
Mhm.
But like I don't think that they're gonna ever, well, I don't want to say ever because anything could happen.
Mhm.
But they're really not at their peak anymore. I think after the entire drama versus trauma thing, like people kind of I don't even think it humbled Omnia. I think it just made them even more bitter. They just have a really big problem with self-reflection. They don't know how to like look at what's going on with them and think like, maybe I should have acted better. They just kind of do it for the optics and then go right back to their old bullshit, which is why their apology video is taken down. That shit has like from what I saw when I was creating my video, like 39,000 views. And now it's unlisted because Omnia doesn't want anyone to know that they fucked up at some point in their on. It's just sad. It's just sad. I think that's all I can sum it up as.
I have somebody that doesn't like that I'm quote unquote defending you right now, Kai. They're like, I hated you for years and now I'm defending him. But it's like, I'm sorry, I just don't want to overlook like the facts that are just clearly here. I think Kai has changed from, you know, the times that we had our little beef. So
honest, if you know who you are, bro, like who gives a shit that someone's in your chat being like, oh well, you hate him. Like that's what people on the internet try to do so much, bro. Like all they want to do is hold you to who you were in the past or some shit that you did in the past, as if like both of us aren't in our fucking 20s and have our entire lives ahead of us to completely change our perspective about everything. Like it's such a terminally online mentality to sit here and be like, oh, this person did this thing in the past, they must be that same way fucking 2 years in the future. Like
oh no, no, like I know this guy's an idiot, but like I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Like
because we did have a beef. We did have a beef. That's
yeah,
true.
we had a beef. But but yeah, we beefed. But I mean, what do you expect me to do? Like go throughout my whole life and be like, man, I hate MrSEN. Oh, that fucking guy.
If anything, I think what it comes down to is that we both met people that are worse than each other. Like you've met people that are worse than me. I've met people that are worse than you. And at this point, it's like, you know what? Disliking you is really trivial. And, you know, you're not even that bad of a guy now compared to before.
That is how I feel about literally almost everyone that I beef with in the past. I have met so much worse and I've been through so much worse that like wasting my time feuding with you on social media is probably the dumbest thing that I could ever do. So like obviously that guy in the chat is gonna have their opinion. Like
no, I'm fine with it. I encourage it, but I still wanted to get what you thought of that whole thing. You know, more of like a reaction kind of thing than anything.
Yeah, it's just come on, bro. Can we live in reality for 2 seconds?
Yeah, and
people have lives. There are people dying, bro.
It's definitely like the new experiences, and you know, with you and what you have with Omnia and stuff. They definitely open your mind up to saying, you know, I've had these experiences too, like me and my my former friend, you know, he kind of stabbed me in the back a little bit. I actually set up an interview between you and him. Do you remember?
Are you talking about Steve DeLive?
Yes, Steve DeLive.
I was gonna ask, like, what the fuck happened to that guy?
So he basically, to put it short, he stabbed me in the back, and then he tried to twist it as, oh, but it's your fault because you were hanging out with this guy I hated. But he cuts off he cuts off a lot of shit, like where he told me, hey, you should get close to this guy so you can give me information about him. Stuff like that, snake shit like that. And then, like, you know, because I made him look stupid in a Twitter space, he starts calling me a pedophile. And like basically goes back on
fucking lowly shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
and it's like, but like, bro, one, it's not true. Number one. Number two, you defended me from that shit for like, you defended me against Kai. Wait a minute. He went at you for that
he
too.
argued with me about that shit.
Yeah, I remember that too. It's fucking crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck to leave? Like, all right, whatever.
What the hell?
So it's like, I mean, and this person was also saying, oh, he defends Augie Natsu, but like, yeah, by comparison, you know, I mean, Augie technically never stabbed me in the back, and all we were associates. Now,
I'm being fucking honest. Yeah. Augie's a fucking idiot too.
He is, but he's a lovable. I think to be real, on some real shit, I think he's gotten better compared to before.
I don't have enough information to be educated on the topic of Augie RFC because I really cannot be arsed to give a fuck about some greasy white boy on the internet. But I mean, if he's better and like that's great, but like from my experience, I don't like the guy. But I mean, obviously he's doing something right to have garnered such a strong following around him, so there's that. But like other than that, I don't really care for the dude. But I just think so you might maybe just being around all this drama is not doing you any good, son, if I'm being quite honest.
Oh no, I'm like I've taken more time off to do uh stuff like competitive shit on games, right? And that's been
Mhm.
like really fun, right? I've been having more fun. Like I haven't been as invested into the drama. I promise to people that are disappointed with that, I promise I'll get invested in it again soon.
Nah, bro.
I
Fuck
promise you, because they
fuck
need
that.
Kai. They need their entertainment. All right, they need
Bro,
this.
fuck that. I don't give a shit. Maybe it's just me, but I could give a fuck about anybody else's entertainment, bro. I make videos for me. If you like them, thanks. But like, I'm not doing anything in my life for the sake of somebody else. Fuck you. I don't know you, bro. So like,
Oh
maybe that's the
wait,
content creator
cowboy.
mindset.
Cowboy, the only reason I banned you was because Kinoshé said you were like some weird spurg. I think he might have called you a pedo too. So like that's the only reason why.
If I
But
had
I
a
don't know where the
nickel
fuck
for
Kinoshé is now, so I don't know. I don't
If I had a
know.
nickel for every time I heard fucking pedophile or
I
whatever the
know
fuck in this
it's the
community, bro.
awesome fucking buzzword on the. It's like lost all meaning, bro. Like if we're being real here, like it means almost nothing, right?
I don't even want to put any stake into that argument. All I know is that, maybe you're in the wrong community if like every week a pedophile is getting exposed or some video is being made about some sexual allegations. Like it's just I had to leave. I don't know how y'all stay in this. I don't know how y'all put up with it, but never again on this corner of the world.
Oh my god. Well, Kai, is there any other things you want to say before I let you go? Because I've kept you for like an hour already.
Um if you want to get into content creation, do not date your peers. um and don't fucking do drama content unless you can like handle it, I guess. But none of it is really worthwhile or fulfilling unless you're completely detached from everything. And live your life. None of this internet shit is real. Be happy. Do good for yourself. And don't strike down YouTube videos or talk to John Swan.
Yeah, I remember that. You versus John. That was a shit show and a half, bro.
It truly was, but I mean, John, I don't know how well they're doing right now. But I got to dunk on them on Twitter. Um,
What's your next video is gonna be anyway, after this whole Omnia thing is over?
Whatever the fuck I want to make. So I might talk about a movie, I might talk about a TV show, I might talk about a stupid video I saw on the internet. It's whatever the hell I want to do, but I'm not going under any theme, and I might be taking a break. Who knows? I have no idea.
Yeah, you're just not like reliant on this, right?
Yeah, I'm not relying on this. Recently I've I've received a substantial amount of wealth. So I'm more focused on like moving from the place that I'm currently living in. I might create content on the side, but like I'm more focused on working and, facilitating my space and kind of living my life outside of all this now that it's all over. So I can't really put too much stake in streaming and content creation as much as I would like to because like I have a life.
Yeah.
So
No, I
things are
get
way,
that.
way different
Yeah.
now.
No, I get that. I've been less into caring about the internet game too. It's not like again. I mean, I'm not because I have some really loyal people that watch me still, and they're like, I still fuck with you and your content and stuff, and I don't want to just like leave them behind. It's like at the end of the day, they supported me. They gave me my Synergy funds, right? Which is energy funds, and money
Yeah.
for Red Bull and Monster and shit. So
Somebody is
I
gonna
still want to
fucking
get back
shut
to
up
those
out of
people,
you.
you know,
With some of the
because they've been
stupid
nice
shit
enough
you
to
fucking
YouTube
give me.
AdSense is
Better be
fucking
buying some
great,
food
bro.
for yourself,
YouTube
brother,
AdSense
or a
is
drink,
awesome.
brother.
Like, I made not a substantial, but I made some money from the videos that I've dropped recently. So I mean, YouTube AdSense is great, and it's really the only reason that I'm like producing videos at the quality that I am and at the level that I am. But I don't really care about having fans. I don't care about people who validate, what I create, other than the fact that they help me reach a broader audience so I can get into more creative endeavors. But other than that, like, I could give a fuck about a fan base. I just like I'm more choosing myself over trying to please the masses and please other people, and I found more refuge in that than anything else. But shout out the SEN mites or whatever the fuck you call your people.
The Sen buds, the Sen buds.
The SEN buds.
Yes.
Obviously give as much as support as you can to the content creators you like, and support what you personally feel is great to support. But from my perspective, it's just live your life the way that you want to live it, and you're wasting your time if you constantly worry about somebody else in terms of what decision that you're making for yourself in your life.
Somebody is gonna
Because one
fucking
day this
shut
YouTube
up
shit
out
may
of
not
you.
last
With some of the
forever,
stupid
and you're gonna
shit
have to
that you
find a
fucking
plan
said.
B.
Kai
And
record a video of
I'm
you
more
pouring out
focused
a Bud
on
Light and
doing
post it to
plan A
Twitter and
and
watch
figuring
Omnia
out my
make it
plan
about
B
herself.
instead of
Lol, senators
solely
start
focusing
breeding
on plan
supers.
A.
I gotta ask you a question though, because there's this person called Denise. I'll get to the super chat. I really thank you everybody for the super chat. I really appreciate you guys. I promise I'll read all of them. I'm just kind of just taking little things to throw at Kai right now so that I could get his reaction on things like this. This Denise person fucking hates you, Kai. She's been on your ass for the past fucking hour, man. Like one of the things she said was, when you apply for a job, remember you now have a record.
Bro, I don't know why people think that like if I apply for a job and like they look at a fucking a singular misdemeanor charge on my please step outside or something. My mother, I can't even believe I have to say this. My mother was a felon. Like they concurred a felony charge and was still able to get a high paying job, bro. Please do not get on my dick about some shit like, I hope when you apply to a job, they look at your like, bro.
Like this person's going vicious too. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like that was just like, oh, remember you have a record, Kai. You beat that woman up, Kai. I'm like, God, whoa.
Like, oh, boo-hoo. I'm so sorry that I can't adhere myself to your sensibilities. Like, if you fucking hate me, then that's your problem, dude. Like, what do you expect me to do about it? Like, not work? Like,
somebody said, so you learned this, you got your ways from your mom. This cowboy guy just doesn't, just doesn't stop. What do you got to say about that, Kai? Does that make you mad?
No. My mom is dead. Like,
oh, oh Jesus. Well, that got dark.
My mom is dead, bro. Like, I have had every opportunity to look at myself and look at my mom's behaviors. Like, everyone is like their parent in some regards, and like no one can really speak on my mom other than me. So when people try and be like, oh, well, you got this from your mom, like, bro, you don't know anything about my mom. So what's the point of me sitting here arguing with you about you're wrong about my mommy? Like, bitch, say whatever the fuck you want to say. You're so wrong. Like, what do you expect me to do? Like, oh my gosh, like, like, don't say that about my mom. Like, do you expect me to go on Twitter and start fucking bitching about it, bro? Like, it's not 2021 anymore. Get real.
I actually have a request from one of my mods, Kai. They said that you should record a video of you pouring out a Bud Light and post it on Twitter and watch Omnia make it about herself. Now, is that something you would look into doing?
I will do a wine cooler maybe, but I'm not too big of a drinker. If I ever decide that that's something that I want to do, sure, but no promises, bro. I don't know you well enough to be taking requests from you anyway.
Oh, he's a good egg. He's my head mod. Sometimes my second in command, even though he's been like dead for the last week. He's a
I'm
good
sure
guy.
he's great.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's great. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons to like them, but I don't know them, so I mean,
damn
whatever.
jaded Kai. Jaded Kai's like, fuck you, internet man. I don't fucking know you.
Sorry, bro. Like,
Will there be a
I'm
return of like the old Kai? I don't know if it was a persona or it was the actual guy, but you remember the old Kai with kind of like the attitude and the swag, I guess, if you want to call it. Will there be a return of that? The arrogant
if I'm
Kai?
being quite honest with you, Sen, I feel like the old Kai was such a bitch. That guy fucking sucked.
So that side of you is
I
pretty
love
much
them.
over.
I love them because, they had to exist for me to become the person that I am today. But like that person was entirely too worried about like being validated by other people, the way that he looked, the way that he carried himself. Like you won't really bout all that. Like you were just some fucking sweet guy who had to try and be tough to be able to protect his own emotions, bro. You were not that tough. You were not that like you were just a normal fucking 21-year-old like anybody else who got whisked into a world that was completely unknown to him and tried to survive in that world the best that he could. But he's not fucking tough. He doesn't have all this swag. Like confidence speaks for itself. And I feel like the old me had something to prove or was acting like they had something to prove to everyone, was entirely too obsessed with the numbers and shit like that. So like I think whatever return that people expect from me, it's just come to my channel and see what I create. And if you like it, stick around. If you don't like it and fucking hate me, watch my videos and give me AdSense.
Yeah, because
But
you have the receipts on your video. It's just if anybody's really interested in whether or not Kai is innocent or not, which I think some
yeah,
people just
come to my
hate
videos and
just
come
the
to your
hate.
own conclusions,
Yeah,
bro.
you
Like
can
if
watch
you were
the
really that
debunk.
curious, if you
Yeah.
think I'm fucking lying after watching my videos and like, okay, think I'm a liar. If you think I'm telling the truth, then cool, kick it with me. But other than that, like I'm not here to tell everybody what their opinion of me should be because at the end of the day, none of these people have any stake in my life. Like you're not keeping food on my table, so regardless of how you feel about me on the internet isn't gonna, you know, get my rent paid or fucking get me get the next girl into my bed. Like, bro, I'm good. So, like, whether you love me or hate me, you can keep up with me or you don't keep up with me. Just
Yeah,
don't bring
and
that
like
shit
to
around
prove
me.
that point, and Denise asked, "Would you talk to Omnia?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'd hear her out, like just to see if what she has to say." I know Kai wouldn't go crazy because Kai already has his receipts on his video. Like I
Yeah,
am
like
open. I'm not really like I'm not a biased person that I'm just like, oh, I just want to defend Kai Weiss today. It's like no, like a lot of the evidence just points to you being clear. A lot of the shit that's happened points to you being wronged, and you as a person, you yourself as a person, because I knew you back when we had beef, and then fast forwarding to now, I definitely do see a change, and like a maturity of it. So it's like, yeah, I'll talk to Kai. I think Kai is in the right, not because I had a bias for him, just
you
because.
just look at the information, you make an inference based on that. And who's to say that if you talk to Omnia, you might have a completely different idea about me? It's just like, oh, if Omnia does want to talk to you, like, I don't care about what idea people have of me. Like, if you bring that shit to me, I'll give it a bit of my attention. But like, other than that, Omnia has been. Do you know how much support Omnia is getting on half of these tweets? Like, 100, not hundreds of likes, but a little over 100 likes. People still like Omnia still has support, but do you see me whining and bitching about the fact that Omnia has support or the fact that people believe Omnia? No, because I know my truth. I know my facts. So if Omnia knows theirs and they want to say theirs, I let them say the shit that they needed to say until I addressed it. So if they want to go on whoever's channel and say whatever about whoever, then that's completely fine. Like I can't change that. I don't control their life. So at the end of the day, like it is what it is. If they hate me, they hate me. If they like me, they like me. If they want to turn this into a bigger YouTube drama, then they can do that. But like at the end of the day, I'm done here talking about Omnia. I've released my videos. I've let my side be out there. So if you watch Omnia's videos and you're suddenly fucking upset about, oh, Kai did this, that, and the third, just go to my video and watch it. And that's all I'll have to say to you.
So when Omnia drops her alleged video that she's preparing with all the receipts, you said at the beginning that you're just going to do like a live reaction on stream, right?
I'm not writing another fucking script for Omnia. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing that shit again. If Omnia drops a video, I will live react to it and leave it at that. I was going to live react to their live stream, but like I said, that shit got taken down. And whatever their video comes out to be, I'm sure it will be a dumpster fire of a video. But I'll be there for it. I'll watch it. But other than that, that'll be the end of it for me. I'll do my live stream, do my rebuttals, do my debunking. But I already like shredded all my court documents and everything like literally 2 days ago. Because this entire situation's over. I don't have to go to court anymore. And I have to do like probation and all that shit. So I could really give a fuck about what Omnia has to say about this entire situation. I feel like they're doing themselves a disservice if they keep obsessing about this. But I'm not them, so I can't help them with that.
Yeah. Well, Kai, it was great interviewing you. It was pretty fun, man. You're a cool guy now. Like, I don't know what happened. Well, it was the experience and all, but yeah, it's fun talking to you now, man. I think you definitely have changed. I don't think there are really any holes in your story. I know, like, some people are gonna be like, "How did you flip flop on Kai?" I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't think Kai's that bad anymore. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but I think Kai's an enjoyable guy. You know.
I feel like I am also incredibly enjoyable. I'm not.
You kind of remind me of my friend Crow a little bit, you know, with that that humor. It's funny. It's funny.
Look, once you go through something like this and you get through it all in one piece, you kind of think that like, yeah, I'm kind of that nigga. So I just generally feel that way. But from this point forward in terms of content, I will try my best to make it as enjoyable as possible, especially after I move, which hopefully I can do either within this month or next month. So I have bigger plans than worrying about Omnia bitching on YouTube.
Oh, all right, Kai. Well, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. I'll talk to you later. See ya.
Cool.
Yep. That was a fun interview. Oh boy, I neglected the supers. I'm sorry. Also, Cowboy, you idiot. Those are tomatoes. You said tomatoes. Drop tomatoes, not poop stains. Moron. All right, let me get these supers real quick. Okay, thank you for being very generous with them too. Gigi Evans, I already read it. Kai recorded a video of you pouring out a Bud Light. Hot Pocket. Actually, let's go all the way back. What the fuck, bro? Let's start from beginning. Hot Pocket with the 10. Damn, Tippy fat as hell. I think Kai had quite a bit to say about Tippy, and I'm gonna put out a good number of little what do you call it, shorts of this interview, just because I think there were like some really, really funny moments, like when Kai was shitting all over Tipster. That was fucking hilarious. Hot Pocket, thank you for that 10, and GG with the 5. Kai say Tipster is a fat bastard who fakes his alcoholism and uses his wife as a human shield to deflect from criticism. I think I should have read that earlier. Oops, my bad. GG with another 2. That certain someone is your lawyer there, Omnia. Yeah, GG, I think you agree with me. We can both see how Omnia is a little just might a tad full of shit, perhaps. I don't know. From at least from what we're seeing, I don't know. Am I correct in assuming that? Alex Rose with the big 20 monthly funds for your Synergy drinks. Haven't been able to catch her live in a while, so I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping
Somebody
by.
is gonna fucking
You
beat
ever
the
shut up?
fuck out of
Much
you
love.
for some
And
of the
yes,
stupid
Synergy
shit that you
drinks.
fucking said.
Synergy drinks for
People
sure.
who don't
I
like
need
Kai
them, bro.
molding in chat cause
I
you think Kai is chill
need
rolling on the floor,
that
laughing, rolling on
Synergy.
the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing.
Oh, okay. Hot Pocket with another 10. Better be buying some food for yourself, brother, or a drink. Of course. Now I am. After today, generous ass motherfuckers. I guess I will be. Don't gotta be ramen today. Jesus, thank you. GG with another 5. Kai recorded video. Oh, we read that already. And Todd Pocket with another 10. People who don't like Kai molding in chat because you think Kai is chill. I do think Kai is chill until proven otherwise. You know, Kai is a very chill guy. I think he's kind of a funny individual. And then in terms of likability, he's definitely winning the optics war. He's not the one schizo. Listen, man, never schizo post on the internet. It's never gonna get you anywhere. It's not working for Steve. It's not working for Maya. It's not working for Ruby. It's not working for Hugin. It's not working for any of these people. It wasn't working for Slug when he was doing it like 3 years ago. Don't schizo post. All right, nothing good comes of schizo posting. Nothing. All right. I love shorts. Shorts are great. What do you have against shorts, cowboy? Augie is a king. All right, Augie is a king, and I say that not because I'm back on the payroll. I just think he's a king. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by for a late impromptu stream. I'll catch you guys in the next one. There's a guy imagine you having sex in chat. I think you should consider a restraining order. Yeah, well, there's a lot of men that imagine me naked, so what can you do, man? That's just the internet. Ho ho ho. All right, guys. In all seriousness, though, I will. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good rest of your night. If you have any rest of your night, it's like 10 for me right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys. Goodbye. Enjoy the stream. It'll be left up. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night.